Hey everyone, it's John here from Montreal Hockey back with another video, and this video is going to be about the Montreal Canadiens and 3 players that tested positive for COVID-19. I just want to go over some things here and just maybe educate some of you that are watching. Obviously, I think I've educated myself here and just done a little bit of research, gone into it. So for the NHL, they established that they will be handling all of the positive tests, that they've instructed how the team should handle positive tests, and ultimately keep the players anonymous. But through this process, I think you can kind of use common sense and put 2 and 2 together and see. And obviously there's different scenarios. There's different scenarios when we return to play, but in training camp, when you're seeing a whole bunch of players or all the players get involved, and then there's reports of 3 players getting tested positive, and then 3 players are not participating in practice, then you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. So John Liu tweeted out, Habs official word on the status of Kulak, Ouellette, and Brook is unable to practice as per league guidelines. So basically insinuating that those 3 were potentially the players that tested positive for COVID-19. And that's where I just want to make, I guess, a statement in terms of, so when the Penguins have 9 players isolate themselves, they instruct 9 players to isolate themselves because of the risk of secondary exposure. To speculate on that sense, okay, then we're talking about a larger group. There's just players that just are not involved. That's just not worth speculating on. And obviously, when we weren't even in training camp and Steve Simmons reported the Austin Matthews news, a lot of people kind of reported that as, I would say, unethical. Or not even reported it, just kind of stated it. And I would honestly agree, because there was no point of reporting that at that point. And then Austin Matthews confirmed it himself today as I make this video. So right now, it's not a matter of reporting that these players have COVID-19. It's a matter of we're not just all going to stay silent and pretend it's not happening. 3 players for the Habs tested positive for COVID-19. These 3 players are unable to practice as per league guidelines. You can kind of put 2 and 2 together. So I think just my statement in this is, yeah, those are potentially the 3 players that tested positive, most likely. But in some scenarios, there's just no need to speculate. There's just no need to go into it if there's just so many question marks. And for a lot of these players, they're going to stay anonymous when it comes to this, and that's how the NHL wants to handle it. Yes, the NBA is handling it in a different sense. And you know what, we're going to keep getting the people that go cancel the season, cancel the season, cancel the season, cancel the playoffs, cancel the playoffs, cancel the playoffs, and not seeing the bigger picture. We've talked about it. And when the Penguins are isolating 9 players due to secondary exposure, potentially, and people are commenting on that, saying to cancel, again, it's just a matter of panic. It's a matter of not using common sense. It's a matter of not taking the blinders off. The Penguins, these 9 players, they would have gotten risk in like a scenario outside of the bubble, and a scenario just in the overall public. Like, it would have been, when we're talking about secondary exposure, we're talking about like hanging with friends. We're talking about, it could have literally just been someone that came over to one of their houses. And yes, now that they're in a group, that becomes a risk, but it won't be a risk when they get to the bubble. And that's why I've talked about how these 2 weeks from now until they go to the bubble, yeah, this is the risky time, of course, but they would be at risk regardless. And yeah, maybe for some of the family, I would say, individuals, the players that have families, and that's why they have been given the opportunity to opt out. And yeah, there is that stress, and there is that, I would say, pressure on them, because for star players, that's a risk, right? And as I make this video, there's about just over 3 hours left until they can opt out. So we'll see what happens, and I'm going to make another video talking about the players that have opted out and just go over that as well. But thank you for watching. I just wanted to, I guess, educate some individuals watching this video, and I'm going to continue to educate myself, continue to do my research, continue to look into different situations. And I think, yeah, there's definitely scenarios where you want to be ethical. Definitely don't want to see the Steve Simmons situation, and you know what, he'll make the point of looking at the NBA, but in certain scenarios when it can stay anonymous, it should stay anonymous. In this case, when you're looking at 3 positive cases and then only 3 players sitting out, then you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. But there's no need to speculate. There's no need to look into situations. Just let the players be. Let the players' privacy be for their own. So thank you. Subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. This was John from Montreal Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.